Boy, you must be angry. You pulled this one up. Are annuities a rip-off? Come on, Stan, tell me the truth. Are annuities a rip-off? Are they ripping me off? No, annuities are contracts. The rip-off kind of comes on the sales pitch part, which we'll talk about that, but annuities are not a rip-off. Annuities are transfer of risk contracts, period. Annuities have a bad rap. There's people out there saying, I hate all annuities, or saying that all annuities are expensive. Just ridiculously misinformed or agenda-driven stuff, which has led to you watching a video called Are Annuities a Rip-Off? But I thought it was important to address it because there's a lot of bad information out there, and there's bad actors. So you just have to be very, very careful. We're going to go through all of that, some of the details of what you perceive as a rip-off, and also how to protect yourself from a potential annuity rip-off. And at the end of the day, I think you'll feel a lot more comfortable about the products, the industry, and the fact that it really isn't a rip-off. But let's look at it seriously, because it is a serious topic. Now, at the end of the videos, I'm going to send you or tell you how you can get all my books sent to you for free. There they are, Annuity Owner's Manuals. I'll send them to you for free. So hang in there with me on this ripping the knob off the annuity scab, right? Are annuities a rip-off? Let's find out. Okay, so are annuities a rip-off? So I have a couple questions for you. Is Social Security a rip-off? Is your pension a rip-off? Are CDs a rip-off? No? Really? Okay, well then I just pretty much described a lot of the annuity types that are out there. So let's talk about CDs. That's a multi-year guarantee annuity. That's a CD type annuity. Is that a rip-off? No, they're paying you a guaranteed percentage for a specific period of time that you choose. There's no annual fees. That's not a rip-off. How about your pension? No, Stan, I don't think that's a rip-off because I get a lifetime guarantee payments. I don't think my Social Security is a rip-off because I get a lifetime guarantee payments. Well, guess what? Annuities provide lifetime guaranteed payments, so that cannot be a rip-off as well. How would people even come to this conclusion that they might be a rip-off? I think it's because of a lot of the sales practices that are out there. Now, once again, I mean, the annuity industry does not have a monopoly on bad sales practices. I mean, it's not the carrier's fault. I mean, the carriers put out the products, they do the research, they put the disclaimers in and all that stuff. Then they hand it over to the agent army, and the agent army goes out there and sells it, and the annuity companies can't control what they say, so that's the rub, that's the problem. So currently in the sales environments for, say, indexed annuities, a lot of indexed annuities are sold at what I call the bad chicken dinner seminar circuit, where you get an invitation in the mail. It says, we're going to talk about volatility and all this stuff, and we're going to talk about how to not lose money but make money. And so you go and you eat the food, and I've seen recent ones that I get, or my mom gets. By the way, to agents out there, side note, my mom lives in somewhere Florida, and she goes to 2 or 3 of these things a week and eats the food. Thank you for feeding her. She's an 80-year-old that loves the bad chicken dinner seminar circuit. She goes and eats your food and doesn't buy anything. But I've recently seen that they're having them at really nice steakhouses, which kind of fills in the blank on where the commissions are. But in that world, it's kind of a one-size-fits-all world. Regardless of, you got 100 people in the room that come to the bad chicken dinner seminar, and they're really pretty much selling one product, which is unfortunate because everybody in that room, A, doesn't need an index annuity, or B, doesn't need an annuity at all, some of them. And then some of them might need a different annuity type, like an immediate annuity or a deferred income annuity or a QLAC. But in the bad chicken dinner seminar circuit, it's one size fits all. I don't care what your problem is, we're going to sell you this. And that's, I think, where the whole rip-off thing kind of comes in. Also, too, the rip-off part of it is surrounding the agent sales pitch. And I always tell people there's no good answers to annuity questions, just bad sales pitches. I mean, there's no perfect answers, right? Everyone has a different situation. So how do you protect yourself from what you perceive as a ripoff? When you get pitched by somebody, write down everything that you hear. In other words, the person's pitching you this product. Write it down just like you hear it. All the good, all the whistles and bells and all the sizzle. write it down just like you understand it, and then sign and date it, and then flip that page around and have that agent sign and date that sales pitch. Now, if they sign and date it, hey, great. If they're lying, you got it in writing, right? But a lot of times, that pen starts to weigh 1,000 pounds, and they'll say, well, it's not really like that, it's like this. But that's the only protection that you have. It's not the carrier's fault, but if you're gonna protect yourself from a sales pitch, write it down and have them sign off on it. Or you could say, hey, send me a specimen policy to read, because that's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get a contract. Send me that before I even sign the paperwork. Any good agent will send you that. If someone balks and says, I can't send you that, then move on to someone else. But if you said, hey, send me a specimen policy, we can do that. Or send me a copy of the application to review before I sign it, we can do that. Bottom line is go slow, go at your own pace, go at your own terms, because you're buying a contract. So are annuities a rip-off? I don't think so. They're contracts, but sometimes how they're sold is a little sketchy. A couple other ways to protect yourself from an annuity scam or annuity ripoff, or just let's just call it a bad sales pitch, is to understand that they solve for really 4 things. Annuities solve for principal protection, income for life, legacy, and long-term care. That acronym is PILL, P-I-L-L. And then always ask yourself just 2 questions to find out what type of annuity, if you need one at all. What do you want the money to contractually do? And when do you want those contractual guarantees to happen? It's pretty simple from there. And then if you want to see quotes, you got to have quote all carriers. We can obviously handle that for you at StanTheAnnuityMan.com. If you come to the conclusion that you want to at least look at specific contractual numbers. And really, if you do just one thing, if you own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do, you're going to be very happy. And I don't think the rip-off thing is going to come into play, because annuities are contracts. You're buying the contractual guarantee. So if someone's showing you a back-tested return, or a potential return, or a proposed return that if all the planets align themselves, this is the return you're going to get, never, ever, ever, ever make a decision on that non-guaranteed number. Only make the decision on the contractual guarantees of that policy. Okay, we've talked about rip-off, right? We've gotten through that. You feel better now? Nod your head. I've done a video on what's the purpose of an annuity, which kind of correlates with what we've just been talking about, but I dug further. Also, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I want you to. Because that would be the nice thing to do, because it's just a click of the button. How hard is that? Plus, I put out videos every day. And you get the books. Remember the books? The books. The books, the books, the books, the books, the books, the books. Click the More Info button, and you'll see a drop down, and you can fill in your shipping information. And hold on, stay there. That's what it comes in. A gold foil bubble mailer. It's gonna be great. You're gonna think Willy Wonka has shown up at your door. But these books will come, and if you want quotes or if you want to talk to us, please contact us at StanTheAnnuityMan.com. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow, because I have a new video coming out tomorrow as well.